find a spot along the sea wall, which was easy enough, as it was totally empty. And with headphones on, I'd be listening to some relaxing music and breathing in through the nostrils, down to the stomach, out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nostrils, down to the stomach, out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nostrils, down to the stomach. What are you doing? We're meant to be socially distancing. And you know, that actually happened a good couple of times. But let me introduce you. This is the Atlantic, and this is Kilkee Bay, and over there, the window to my flat, where I was during lockdown. And everything was magnified. Was it for you? Was it for you? Yeah. Especially when we couldn't go further than 5 kilometres. A neighbour over the phone said to me, Jenny, there's an app that you must have. It will measure your 5 kilometre radius. Huh? Did anyone get one? But it got me thinking, who's going to monitor me if I do go over 5 kilometres? Within that 5 kilometres, I had the sea and the beach. That was until another neighbour called me up and said, Jen, you better be careful. I said, why? He said, the guards are patrolling the beach and they moved somebody along the other day for sitting on the beach. Strange times, dear people, strange times. But those vibes were more contagious than COVID-19. My window. I had a bird's eye view of the beach and the Strand line. Now who's that? I don't recognise them. What are they doing here? They don't live here. I wanted to rush outside and... So, what? Yeah? Where are you from? Why are you here? I noticed cars that I hadn't seen before. Why? There was a Gardaí checkpoint just up the road. No! New Year's Eve, Zoom gathering. I didn't have a bottle of bubbly at midnight. So, I'm driving up the Strand line. I see a light. It's in a B&B, and it's full of people enjoying themselves. Well, I didn't. But I did start thinking, what's happening to me and my own mental health? Was I becoming a bit xenophobic? No, don't worry, you haven't come to the wrong play. This is Becoming Charlotte Bronte. But while this window was where are you from and why are you here, that window, oh, that window was a lot more magical. And I guess that started around March 2020, when I was in my room and on my laptop, and I noticed that there was a light on in the house opposite. Now that was unusual. And it was on the next night, and the night after that. And when I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, the light was on then. I'm on my laptop, Facebook, Messenger. So can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you, Jenny. So is it a covert operation then?
Very funny. Look, I just think it's odd that I don't see anyone during the day. What do you think's going on?
Sure, the guards have moved in to monitor the passage of vehicles into Kilkee at night.
Before I moved into this flat, I viewed a bedsit in the house next to the house with the light on. I was struck by just how wide the door was on this double-fronted house. Oh, a well-proportioned house, thought I. That was until I stepped into a broom cupboard.
You know, Charlotte Bronte stayed here on her honeymoon.
Well, she stayed here, in this room, on her honeymoon?
We're not sure what part of the hotel she stayed in.
Oh, it was a hotel.
Well, this house and the two facing out to the sea, yes, it was known as the West End Hotel, had the best of visitors. Charlotte Bronte stayed here in the 1850s, 1854, I think.
The seed was sown, and it grew and grew during lockdown, sparked with the light on opposite. I began to wonder where would they go when they were here in Kilkee in 1954. The bridges of Ross wouldn't have been corroded by the sea, and they would definitely have gone along the Strand line. But I Googled it. Charlotte Bronte's honeymoon in Kilkee, and I dived in and jackpot. I think there's a play in this. October 2021. Theatre 57 put a call out for theatre artists. I submit my proposal. Yes! And before I realise it, the restrictions are lifted, theatres are open, and rehearsals have begun. So, we know that
Charlotte Bronte and her husband,
Arthur Bell Nichols arrive into Dublin.
Charlotte falls ill,
Convalesces at Bannerhurst.
that's Arthur's homestead.
Where they learn about Kilkee.
and it's healing waters.
Where they stay at the West End Hotel.
Which is owned and run by Mrs. Margaret Shannon.
A widow with 4 girls.
Well, good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Miss Shannon.
You both slept very well, I hope.
Yes.
As always.
Delighted to hear it. Now, I have some news for you, ladies. We have a couple more guests arriving this afternoon, but you needn't worry, you won't be inconvenienced in the slightest. They're very quiet people, I'm told. The gentleman is a reverend of some sort in Yorkshire, I believe. And his lady, most unusual, is a novelist of some sort.
Oh,
Novelist. Peculiar.
what is her name?
Well, the name now is Mrs. Nichols, but she was known before as Charlotte
Bronte.
Bronte.
Oh my goodness gracious, this is very exciting. Charlotte Bronte is coming in tomorrow.
Mother, you're familiar with Charlotte Bronte?
Yes, Grace, are you not?
Why, yes, I am, of course. I'm just surprised to hear that you are.
Mr. Rochester.
Mr. Who now?
It's the character in her book.
Oh.
Mr. Rochester.
Oh, the way she describes the stiffness of his collar and the curve of his calf as he dismounts the horse.
Mrs. Shannon, I do beg your pardon. Mother, do you really believe that this is appropriate conversation before breakfast?
Yes, probably not.
How controversial are these novels now? Tell me, I'm not sure I want any disreputable guests staying in my hotel.
Not at all. She's a marvellous novelist, and I highly recommend that you read it, Mrs. Shannon.
I'm just still surprised, Mother, that someone of your age and caliber would read Charlotte Bronte. It's quite laughable, actually.
Grace, can an older woman not enjoy the fantasies of a younger woman's mind?
So, we know that Charlotte Smith O'Brien
And her daughter, Grace.
We're in Kilkee during Charlotte and Arthur's 10-day honeymoon.
but there was no trace of where they went or who they met in any of Charlotte's letters.
No sketches.
Just one page of pressed flowers.
Maybe they were,
Well, very probably they were, and here's the hub of it. 8 months later, and pregnant, Charlotte Bronte dies. And leaves an unfinished novel. Emma.
Emma. An English name with its roots in an old Germanic word meaning whole or universal. The perfect name for the baby who is about to become your whole world.
Emma by Charlotte Bronte. Partly set in a school, like Jane Eyre.
Villette?
Professor,
Yes, Miss Bronte, what is it?
can we recite some Shelley?
No, certainly not. You're far too young. Now sit down, please. Charlotte Bronte in school, aged 8. 1 year later. Yes, what is it?
Can we recite some Shelley?
Maybe in another year or so, Charlotte. Now do sit down, please.
Emma includes social class issues.
Like all her novels. And an abandoned child, Matilda.
Like Jane in Jane Eyre.
Like Lucy Snow in Villette.
And Caroline in Shirley.
your mind is crushed.
Your heart is broken.
You have been so neglected.
Repulsed.
Left so desperate. Your mind is crushed.
Your heart is broken.
You've been so neglected.
Repulsed.
Left so desolate. Your mind is crushed.
Your heart is broken.
I've been so neglected.
Repulsed.
Left Your mind is crushed.
Your heart is broken.
You've been so neglected,
Repulsed.
left so desolate. My mind is crushed. My heart is broken. I've been so neglected. Repulsed! Left so desolate.
I believe that grief is and has always been my worst ailment.
You say you grow to my heart. My heart is the source, whence yours was filled. My veins issued the tide that flowed in yours.
You mean to say I'm adopted?
What I mean is if I have given you little else, I at least gave you life. I bore you, nursed you. I am your true mother. No other woman can claim this title. It is mine. God permitted me to be the parent of my child's mind. It is my property. It belongs to me. It is my right. His features are your own. He gave you your blue eyes and your soft brown hair. He gave you the oval of your face and the regularity of your lineaments. The outside he conferred, but the heart and brain are mine. The germs are from me and improved. Developed to excellence. Now get up and get on.
So in Shirley, we have a birth mother reunited with her daughter.
In Emma, at its heart, is the mystery as to the true identity of Matilda Fitzgibbon.
An
Ah,
Irish surname.
Exactly.
So, do we think maybe she heard a story during her stay in Kilkee?
When they were staying at the West End Hotel.
Emma is narrated by a wealthy heiress.
Lady Charlotte Smith O'Brien.
Charlotte did write about the world around her.
Her own experiences.
And the stories that crossed her path.
4 years earlier. And there's a massive sea tragedy in Kilkee Bay.
20th of December 1850. Extract from the official report of Captain Garrett Hugh Fitzgerald to Captain Ellis. The Edmund, which sailed on Monday at 8 o'clock from Carrigaholt with a fair wind, was chartered by John MacDonald of Limerick. When the vessel got about 30 miles clear of land, the wind headed and came to blow such a gale that all the canvas went, and the ship, in a most miraculous manner, got into Kilkee Bay, where no ship ever before entered, at 11:30 o'clock on Tuesday night. Eyewitness report from Mr. Russell, who was first on the scene.
It was about 11:30 that I got out of bed. When I was absent half an hour to fasten the windows of our bedroom, shaken by the pitiless storm. On looking out, as is my usual custom, what was my horror to see before me, within a few hundred yards, a large vessel aground, some distance from the rocks. It was low water. I cannot describe my feeling. I knew and felt that all in her were doomed to destruction. And as I then believed, not a soul could be saved. At this time, I did not hear that she was an immigrant vessel, though I had some suspicion of it, as she was of large size and light draught of water. In a short time, my fears proved too true. At first, there was no appearance of any living person on board. I can never forget it. That sound will long continue fresh in my ear. I sent at once to call the coast guards and all the persons in the neighborhood, also to the village.
Extract from the official report of Captain Garrett Hugh Fitzgerald to Captain Ellis. There were 216 sons on board. Out of 216, 120 are saved, including all the crew except the carpenter. 96 have been lost, of whom 47 have been washed ashore. 50 coffins were brought from Kilrush by Mr. Blair, Lloyd's agent. Captain Pascoe stated that he never saw such a wreck.
It's all right, Funny. You'll be perfectly all right. It's just a storm. We're well used to them here in Turkey. Come on, you're all right. You're all right.
Biddy O'Mahony. Aye. What are you doing out here at this time of night? Is that a baby? Good Lord. Give that child here to me. You've no business with that child. It's no child of yours.
Mother, it's a newborn child.